Welcome back to Genesis Custom Sabers. This is just a short little video to highlight the features of this new one that I've constructed. It'll also serve as the instruction video for whoever ends up owning this one, because this will be going up for sale very shortly on my website. It is an MHS based custom saber, one of a kind, with a crystal focus version 5, and it's really wired up with all the bells and whistles. So I'll get right to it. It's a custom emitter with the grooves that were machined in here, and a custom ring that's held on with a set screw, so it's nice and secure. The saber is safe for dueling. It's got these brass machine pins that go right through the flutes on both sides, and so they give a really cool effect when the blade is lit up, because you can see the blade through the holes. And I wanted to keep with the lightsaber imagery of brass, and I used a lot of brass and copper on this one. I actually kind of felt like this one was slightly influenced by some steampunk stuff I've been looking at lately. So you've got copper powder coating here, brass buttons, and of course you've got a brass slotted screw there and there, anodized aluminum, which looks very similar to brass, but I wanted to keep the saber kind of almost like a piecemeal, disjointed kind of look, so I didn't want anything to match too much. So you'll find that the real machined copper here is a much lighter shade than the powder coated copper, but this will, all the copper and brass will age and weather with the saber. It's not treated, so this copper will end up looking very much like this, and these brass fixtures will dull over time and with use. It's got some weathering, as you can see, so I applied an oxidization style weathering to the aluminum in certain parts to give it a lot more definition in some of the cracks, and to give it a kind of a worn but well cared for look. So I'll get right to the function of this saber. It's got a really unique bargraph. I've been playing around with unique bargraphs lately, and you'll see in a moment it's visible through this window. Now there is a copper ring in here and a plastic or acrylic lens. Now if you push really hard on the lens, it would pop out. It's a snap fit. But it's recessed, so gripping the saber is not going to cause it to pop through. This is of course the kill key, the knurled aluminum kill key. So when you open it up, you hear the saber activate. There's a 2.1mm recharge port, and you can see that 6 of the 7 LEDs are lit in the circular bargraph. It's a really cool bargraph configuration. I've never done this before with amber SMD LEDs. Really tiny, but I was able to get them in a circular pattern, so when you ignite the saber, all your different animations take on a whole new life, because they're going in a circular pattern instead of a round pattern. And of course, when you hit the lockup button, you get your power level meter. As you can see, when I hold it down, it flickers between 5 and 6 LEDs. Of course, when it's full, all 7 are lit, and when it gets down to 0 or to 1, that flashes, then you know it's time to recharge the battery. And different animations for ignition and retraction. And during the standby mode, it's in power level indicator mode as well, and that will drop down to sleep mode very shortly. As you can see, with you can customize all of that with your crystal focus settings. In this case, I've got it set so that you can't shake the saber to wake it up, but if you tap the auxiliary button, then it will wake the saber up back into ready mode. So as you've seen before, most of my sabers, I've got a custom switch set up here. I'll give you a little demo with the blade. The blade retention screw is knurled stainless steel for added strength. The blade goes in, blade retention screw. This is your power or activation button, just a tap on that. You'll see the blade lights up, and it's a really cool effect with the blade showing the green and the LED engine showing through. This is a LED engine 10 watts, so it's set up for flash on clash. Camera may not be picking it up, but it's a bright white flash that is the added addition of the red and blue LEDs on Clash on Flash to make it look white. And of course it does that with the clash as well. So like I said, it's got all the bells and whistles. It's set up really nicely, and it's fine-tuned to just work really well. As with most of my Elite sabers, I've got a custom chassis on the inside. Now with the construction of this saber, I did it in such a way there's not a whole lot of room. Now with the kill key out, you never want to twist it with the kill key in because it'll pinch it and damage the recharge port. With the kill key out, you can just gently unscrew from this joint here. This is the only part of the saber that I permit to be taken off. I save the pommel. You can take the pommel off without voiding the warranty. I should say too that if you wanted to replace a cover tech with a brass or something, I mean that's all, you know, user friendly. But none of this part of the saber should be taken apart. There's a little set screw here that holds these pieces together. That can't be touched. These should never be unscrewed. That'll mess up the battery wiring. So basically this is all that I would allow the user to do without voiding the warranty. Of course you can see just the half of the crystal focus there, and you can see the Bargraph that's held in place and recessed so that it doesn't catch on anything as it's being screwed together. The wiring is really clean. Now you can just barely see the SD card in there. It's not an easy one to change out. Here's how you do it. But I would recommend this saber, once you get it set, just to leave it. You don't need to take it apart. But with all of my Elite sabers, you can, I'll just find the pencil here. You can use a pencil and you can press in there gently and you'll see the SD card will pop out. There it is. Now on this one it's really tricky to get with the needle nose pliers, but it is possible to draw that out with the needle nose pliers, put it in your adapter, make changes to it, and with the needle nose pliers again, get it placed back in there nice and neat, and then when it's seated and it's moving freely in there, then you want to press with the pencil, spring load, you hear it click. Again, you want to pull out kill key to make sure that it's, you'll hear the boot sound and you know everything's ready to go. So that's basically how this saber operates. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's a bit of a unique design for me, but I've been thinking about this one for a while. This again will be going up for sale. Oh, one more thing I do want to demonstrate. Of course, the Bargraph and the recharge port line up perfectly when it's screwed together. If for whatever reason that ever changes, sometimes as metal gets older, the threading wears down a little bit and you find that you screw in your saber and it doesn't quite line up, there is a set screw here. Now what I would suggest is to leave it, but if the user wanted to make a fine-tune adjustment to the way the saber lines up, it is possible to put a little Allen key in here and to loosen this set screw off, maybe one full turn. Then it's possible to just tweak and to roll this PVC chassis gently in here, any more than 1/8 of an inch either way, and you're going to risk damaging some wiring. So again, I would recommend not touching it unless you absolutely need to. That would just be a way to fine-tune it to make sure that the recharge port and the Bargraph always stay perfectly lined up when you screw in the saber. Just like that. So there you go, that's the new one. Thanks for watching.